So we'll be doing just a little bit of a brief Ganesha Puja. Ganesha is, in this case, Lord Vigneshwara. Vigna means obstacle, and so Ganesha is the remover of obstacles. Any difficulties or obstacles that you're experiencing in any undertaking can be removed by prayers to Ganesha. And so in this case, as we're starting to think about coming together for opening a temple space, we pray to Lord Vigneshwara for the obstacles to be removed there in the path. But then after that we'll be chanting as a group a little bit one mantra, a Gayatri mantra for Goddess Shakambhari Devi. We have some sheets of the mantra we'll give out so you can look at if you want to chant along with us. Or you can sit and feel the energy of the mantra if you don't like to chant. But the Gayatri mantra is a very famous mantra from the Vedas. They say that the essence of all four Vedas is contained within this Gayatri mantra. That's one name for it. Gayatri is also a meter. There are different meters of the mantras. And so the Gayatri meter has 24 syllables. But the Gayatri mantra has been so popular that they've made different later, these are not Veda mantras, Tantra mantras, Gayatris for the different deities. All the different forms of God have their own Gayatri. So there's a Gayatri mantra for Shiva, Gayatri mantra for Ganesha, Gayatri mantra for Sai Baba. Some of these actually do occur in the Vedas. The Mahanarayana Upanishad from the Krishna Yajurveda. There's a lot of different Gayatris altogether there for the different deities. But so for this goddess, Shakambhari Devi, she's a form of goddess Durga. And so she has some protective qualities, just like goddess Durga. She gives you strength and confidence and protection. But she relates to nourishment and food, prosperity. She's a goddess of the forest. They say she has eyes everywhere. One name for her is Shatakshi, which means 100 eyes. She's got eyes everywhere. People pray to her for safe passage through the forest. And they say she's in all the plants and the vegetation. And she symbolizes nourishment very much. In the temples in India, they'll often decorate her image with beautiful garlands of different fruits and vegetables. And so that's the goddess of the temple that we will be building. We have several statues which are finished being carved in South India. We're raising money now to ship them from India. But the main statue for her that we'll eventually install in this temple once we've got land to build the temple, we haven't had this made yet because according to the traditions of temple building, and our temple architect we're working with has said that we should not size the statue until we know how big the land is. From there you get the size of the temple, you get the size of the statue. And so all the statues actually to be installed in the inner sanctums there in the temple, we're not making yet. We're making some so people get an idea. They can be installed later in various other places throughout the temple compound, but not inside in the inner sanctum, because these should be sized specifically to the land for the best results in terms of having a powerful puja. There's a whole system in the agamas. These texts tell us how to build temples and what the proportions should be and all that kind of thing to get the most powerful results there. Puja is one way to empower a mantra practice. I think all of you have been for a puja before, and so you have some sense that it's a powerful experience. When we do the puja and then we do some chanting together, it will be a very powerful experience. We get this Shakti, the energy of Shakambhari Devi. this power of nourishment and fulfillment within. And so we get filled with that as we sit here and we chant, and as we go out it will affect people around. I remember one time, actually, in the time that I was doing a lot of chanting, wandering from place to place, I had not eaten food or had water for 3 days because I was just chanting, and as I was, it was not coming somehow. And I had been given a little bag of almonds from a temple, and I had forgotten about these. I had eaten most of them. I had maybe 2 left. I had 2 left, actually. But you don't think, even when you're hungry, you don't think about 2 almonds because it seems like it wouldn't nourish you. But at that point, a homeless guy came up to me and he said, "I haven't had food all day. I'm very hungry." And I said, "Well, I'm sorry. I wish I could help you, but I haven't had food in 3 days myself." And so then I thought of these almonds, and I said, "Wait, hold on. I think I have something." So I went in my bag and I found this bag of almonds, and I found 2. And I said, "Well, okay, I'll give you this." Wait, I said, "No, well, maybe if I haven't eaten in 3 days, I probably should have 1, and I'll give you 1. And so as I took those almonds, I said, "Lord, please, 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 I don't have more to give this guy. Please fill this guy up. If you can. I don't know if it's possible, but please, please, please." And so I gave him the almond, and he was a little bit startled that I'm offering him this, and he said at first, "Well, I need something to really fill me up. I haven't eaten all day, But then he started to think, well, this guy has not eaten for 3 days. He only has 2 almonds. This is very generous. Could you answer that in case that's someone trying to come here? So this is a very generous offer. He's given me half of his food, which is not sufficient for him, so I should take this because this is a kind offer." And so he took it and he ate the almond and he left. But the next day he came running, and he said there was something special, something magical about that almond. He said, because when I ate it, I was not hungry anymore.
Okay. I'll forward the message. Thank you.
And that kind of a situation is possible when we chant the mantras. By the grace of God, anything is possible. It's said that God is at the mercy of the people who chant the mantra. It's God's duty to do the will of the people who chant the mantras. It's one thing they teach in India. The people who are chanting the Veda mantras in particular all day long, there's a belief that God will do what these people ask them to do. That's why a lot of people, they want to go and give food to these guys when it's their birthday. They go and give food to the people who are chanting to get special blessings at that time. When they have troubles, when their kid is going to school, they'll make donations. They give a new dhoti, clothing, different things to these guys. Because the thought is, then they say, "Please pray for me." The thought is, because they're doing all this chanting to open a channel and to bring up the energy, that something may really happen there. The prana of God comes into the physical realm in the place where mantras are chanted, and in the consciousness of the people who chant those mantras, around those people, in a place where, just in a place or around people who are chanting these mantras, miraculous things happen. Just happens spontaneously by this grace, this spiritual energy, which is, we've got to have faith, we've got to have openness to let this energy fill us, but it's a wonderful blessing to have this knowledge that we can do these practices for the peace of all the world, and it really makes a big difference. It changes this space a little bit, it changes the space of our consciousness, and then that changes everything all around. We may never convince people to stop fighting if we're talking to them about it. Countries are warring throughout the world, and if we go and we try to have a discussion about that, it may not change people from fighting each other, but if we come to a state of peace within ourselves by doing these practices, it affects all the world a little bit, because on the level of consciousness, it's all connected. It'll affect first us, first, then our families and the people we come in contact with. But we're carrying a little bit of that energy everywhere we go, and it slowly starts to change everything. We're very lucky to have this knowledge of the pujas and mantras and mudras and different meditations to help empower these prayers for the peace of the world. So I'm so happy you all could be here and come pray with us today. Om Shubham Karoti Kalyanam Arogyam Dhanasamvadaha Shatru Bhuti Vinashaya Deepa Jyoti Namostute Deepo Jyoti Param Brahma Deepo Jyoti Janardanaha Deepo Haratu Me Papam Sandhya Deepam Namostute Om Deepa Devatabhyo Namaha. Pranavasya Parabrahma Rishihi Devi Gaytri Chandaha Paramatma Devata Pranayame Yogaha Om Om Om. Mahavya Namasopa Satya Yuktam Devam Yuktaseyam Novastu Anuradham Abhishabhakthanantaha Shatam Chivema Sharadasya Veeraha Dhruvam Devadikaruno Dhruvam Devo Brihaspatihi Dhruvam Indrasyaadhistarastram Dharayatam Dhruvam Uttaro Dharadipitirastu Dharphasvasinaha Dharmayamanaha Om Namo Bhata Namasta Durikakshayatvaha Shri Parameshwara Tikartham Devalagnam Shirinam Tadeva Thalabanam Chandrabalam Tadeva Vyapanam Devabalam Tadeva Shri Lakshmipate Thindriyukam Smarami Shubhashobhane Muhurte Atya Privattamaha Virya Parade Svedvarahakapte Vaivasvatamanvantare Attadi Satitame Kaliyuge Spatame Pade Ramsudvite Ramanakaparshe Aimrikhande Mero Svastima Parshe Madau Vigneshwara Ganapati Pujam Karishye Shakambhari Devi Gaytri Mantra Mahamantra Japam Karishye Om Abba Upastrisyaha Ganye cha Yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Yalesmin Sadhidhi Kuru Om Amritam Pavantu Om Devasatta Samsutradave Asvino Bahubhyam Pushno Hastabhyam Asvino Vaishadena Divyayatna Dhyayabhishinchahi Om Sarva Puja Dravyani Atmanam Chaproksha Brahmacharyanam Satamam Purasthak Shishimata Sumsudhena Avaha Suputniya Upama Asya Nishtha Satasya Jonimasakasya Kivaha Apyaya Sudhametuke Vishwatasoma Vishniham Apavajasya Rangati Yo Rudro Agnayo Advyo Osatishu Yo Rudro Vishwabhuvana Nivesatasmai Rudraya Namo Astu Tattvayami Brahmana Vandamanastadasha Aste Yajamano Hadippihi येजमानो वरुणेह भोजं स्वगुं समान आयुः प्रमोषीषि ॐ गणानाहं त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत नः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्ते अस्तु लम्बोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्नविनाशिने श्रीवृताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात् ॐ गं गणपतये नमः ॐ भूर्भुवस्वरम् अस्मिन् कुम्भे वरुणास्वरूपेण महागणपतिम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि ॐ अपहितो भव स्थापितो भव सन्निहितो भव सन्निरुद्धो भव अवकुञ्जितो भव देवा प्रसीदाः ॐ महागणपतये नमः ध्यानम् एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं भासमन्कुशधारिणं व्रतं च वरदं हस्ते बिभ्राणं मुच्चकर्जजं रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्तां रक्तपुष्पैः सुपूजितां भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवं जगत्कारणमच्युताम् आविर्भूतं च सृष्ट्यादौ कृतेः पुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायति यो नित्यं स योगी योगिनां वरः ॐ गणपतये नमः ध्यानं ध्यायामि ॐ महागणपतिमन्त्रस्य पञ्चङ्गन्यासम् ॐ गामन्दुष्टाभ्यां नमः ॐ गीं तर्जनीभ्यां नमः ॐ गूं मध्यमाभ्यां नमः ॐ गैं मनमिकाभ्यां नमः ॐ गौं कनिष्ठिकाभ्यां नमः ॐ गः करचरकरपृष्ठाभ्यां नमः ॐ गां हृदयाय नमः ॐ गीं शिरसे स्वाहा ॐ गूं शिखाये वसत् ॐ गैं कवचाय हुं ॐ गौं नेत्रत्रयाय वसत् ॐ गः अस्त्राय पतत् भूर्भुवस्वरों इति दिग्बन्धः ॐ महागणपतये नमः रत्नसिंहासनं समर्पयामि ॐ महागणपतये नमः पादयोः पाद्यं समर्पयामि ॐ महागणपतये नमः हस्तयोः आद्यं समर्पयामि ॐ महागणपतये नमः ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः आचमनीयं समर्पयामि ॐ क्लौं नमस्ते गणपतये त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं भर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं भर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यम् इदं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वं मां त्वं ब्रह्म भूर्भुवस्वरम् गणादीं पूर्वमुच्चार्य वर्णादीं तदनन्तरम् अनुस्वारः परतरः अर्धेन्द्वरसितं तारेण रिक्तम् एतत्तव मनुस्वरूपम् गकारः पूर्वरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वारश्चान्त्यरूपम् बिन्दुरुत्तररूपम् नादः सन्धानम् सगुंहिता सन्धिः सैषा गणेशविद्या गणकऋषिः निश्चित् गायत्री छन्दः श्रीमहागणपतिर्देवता ॐ गं गणपतये नमः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात् नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्ते अस्तु लम्बोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्नविनाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः तदथर्वशीर्षं योधीते स ब्रह्मभूयाय कौपते स
सर्वविघ्नायैर्न बाध्यते स सर्वत्र सुखमेधते स पञ्चमहापापात् प्रमुच्यते सायमधीयानो दिवसकृतं पापं नाशयति प्रातरधीयानो रातिकृतं पापं नाशयति सायं प्रातः प्रयुञ्जानो पापो भवति सर्वधीयानो भविघ्नो भवति धर्मार्थकाममोक्षं च विन्दति इदमथर्वशीर्षमशिष्याय निर्देशम् यो यदि मोहात् दास्यति स पापीयान् भवति सहस्रावर्तनाद्यं यं काममधीते तं तमनेन साधयेत् अनेन गणपतिम् अभिषिञ्चति स वाक्मे भवति भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः गन्धद्वारं दुराधर्षां नित्यपुष्टां करीषिणीं ईश्वरीगुं सर्वभूतानां तामिहोपव्यये श्रियम् ॐ महागणपतये नमः गन्धान् धारयामि गन्धस्योपरि हरिद्रा कुङ्कुमं समर्पयामि विभूतिं समर्पयामि त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ महागणपतये नमः तदुपरि मङ्गलक्षतान् समर्पयामि ॐ रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैः सुपूजिताम् ॐ महागणपतये नमः रक्तपुष्पैः पूजयामि स्वरवन्यसुता सराजित्तमन्मत्तविग्रहाय नमः
ॐ गं गणपतये नमः
समस्तजगद्धाराय नमः
ॐ गं गणपतये नमः
ॐ मायिने नमः
ॐ गं गणपतये नमः
मूषिकवाहनाय नमः
ॐ गं गणपतये नमः
हृष्ठाय नमः
ॐ गं गणपतये नमः
हृष्ठाय नमः
ॐ गं गणपतये नमः
प्रसन्नात्मने नमः
ॐ गं गणपतये नमः
सर्वसिद्धिप्रदायकाय नमः
ॐ गं गणपतये नमः
श्रीविघ्नेश्वर गणपतये नमः
ॐ गं गणपतये नमः
ॐ धूपम् अगरबत्ती ॐ धूर्वसि धूर्वधूर्वन्धां धूर्वतं योऽस्मान् धूर्वतितं धूर्वयं वयं धूर्वमस्तुं देवानामसि सस्मितमं भप्रितमं जुष्टतमं वह्नितमं देवहूतमं महोतमसि अभित्तनं तकुम्मत्सामवाः चित्तस्य तद्वप्रकसेम धर्मसंवित्तामात्महि सम्मुमा गणपतये नमः धूपमाघ्रापयामि धूपानन्तरम् आचमनीयं समर्पयामि मङ्गलाक्षतान् समर्पयामि ॐ एकदन्ताय विद्महे
वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात्
ॐ ॐ नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः समतपतये नमस्ते अस्तु लम्बोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्नविनाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः कर्पूरम् ॐ राजाधिराजाय प्रसाय साहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यम् कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः ॐ मनः स्तोकेतनीयमान आयुषिमानो घोषमानो अश्वेश्वरीरिजा विरन्मानो रुद्रपामितो पथिरविष्पन्तो नमसा विधेमते आराते गोपूर्वशग्ने क्षयद्वीराय सुम्नमस्मे ते अस्तु रक्षाचनो अतिदेवा ब्रूषगच्छन शर्म यच्च वरः रक्ष रक्षं धारयामि ॐ योपां
पुष्पं वेद पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति
चन्द्रमा वा अपं पुष्पं पुष्पवान् प्रजावान्
पशुमान् भवति एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति
अग्निर्वा
अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति
आपो वा अग्निरायतनम्
आयतनवान् भवति एवं वेद आयतनवान् भवति
एवं वेद योऽप्सुनावं प्रतिष्ठितां वेद
प्रत्येव तिष्ठति
ॐ यो वेदादौ
स्वरोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य यः परस्य महेश्वरः
एकदन्ताय विद्महे
प्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात्
नारायण्ये च विद्महे शाकम्भरी देव्ये च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ महागणपतये नमः शाकम्भरी देव्ये नमः ॐ अवाहिताभ्यः सर्वाभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः वेदोक्तमन्त्रपुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि हरिः ॐ विशेत्वा वायवस्तोभायवस्तदेवो वास्तविता प्रार्पयतु श्रेष्ठतमाय कर्मणे हरिः ॐ गणानाहं त्वा गणानां त्वा गणपतिं त्वा गणानां त्वा गणपतिं त्वा गणपतिं अवामहे गणपतिं त्वा गणपतिं अवामहे गणपतिं अवामहे कविं हवामहे गणपतिं अवामहे गणपतिमिति गणापतिं हवामहे कविं अवामहे कविं कवीनां कविं अवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमस्रवस्तमं 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 ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणः ज्येष्ठराजमिति ज्येष्ठा राजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पते पते ब्रह्मणस्पत आपते ब्रह्मणस्पत पत आपते पत आनो ना आपते पत आनः आनो नान शृण्वन्ना आन न शृण्वन्नो न शृण्वन्नोधिभिः शृण्वन्नो न शृण्वन्नोधिभिः 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 सीदसीधोधिभिः शृण्वन्नोधिभिः सीदा ओधिभिः सीधोधिभिः सीदसादनकुं सीधोधिभिः सीदसादनम् ओधिभिरिद्योधिभिः सीदासादनकुं सीदसीदासादानम् सादनमिति सादानम् हरिः ॐ
ॐ नारायण्ये च विद्महे शाकम्भरी देव्यै च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात्। नारायण्ये च विद्महे शाकम्भरी देव्यै च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ नारायण्ये च विद्महे शाकम्भरी देव्यै च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ नारायण्ये च विद्महे शाकम्भरी देव्यै च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ नारायण्ये च विद्महे शाकम्भरी देव्यै च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ नारायण्ये च विद्महे शाकम्भरी देव्यै च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ नारायण्ये च विद्महे शाकम्भरी देव्यै च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ नारायण्ये च विद्महे शाकम्भरी देव्यै च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ नारायण्ये च विद्महे शाकम्भरी देव्यै च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ नारायण्ये च विद्महे शाकम्भरी देव्यै च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ नारायण्ये च विद्महे शाकम्भरी देव्यै च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ नारायण्ये च विद्महे शाकम्भरी देव्यै च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ नारायण्ये च विद्महे शाकम्भरी देव्यै च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ नारायण्ये च विद्महे शाकम्भरी देव्यै च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ नारायण्ये च विद्महे शाकम्भरी देव्यै च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भार्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ सत्यं त्वार्थेन परिशिञ्चामि ॐ अमृतमस्तु अमृतोपस्तरनमसि स्वाहा ॐ प्राणाय स्वाहा ॐ अपानाय स्वाहा ॐ ज्ञानाय स्वाहा ॐ उदानाय स्वाहा ॐ समानाय स्वाहा ॐ ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा ॐ मधुवातार्तयते मधुक्षरन्ति सिन्धवा मध्वीः न सम्भूषिधीः मधुर्नक्तमुतो ससि मधुमत्पार्थिवगुम्रजः मधुद्यौरस्तु न पिताः मधु मनो वनस्पतिर्मरुमागुम् अस्तु सूर्याः
माद्दीर्घावो भवन्तु नः मधु 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 ॐ गणपतये नमः ॐ शाकम्भरी देव्यै नमः ॐ भूर्भुवस्वरं महानैवेद्यं निवेदयामि पुगीफलसमायुक्तं नागवालीधरायुतं कर्पूरचूर्णसंयुक्तं तम्बूलं प्रतिगृह्यताम् ॐ शकम्भरी देव्यै नमः कर्पूरतम्बूलं निवेदयामि ॐ अहं रौद्रेभिर्वसुभिश्चरामि अहमादित्यै उत विश्वदेवैः अहं मित्रावरुणो भाविभर्म्यहमीन्द्राग्ने अहमस्मिनो भा अन्नपते नश्चिनो देहनमेव सुष्मिनः प्राततथार्वं दारिषु ऊर्जं नो देहि द्विपते चतुष्पते गौरीमिमयः सलिलानि तक्षत्ते कपटी द्विपदी सा चतुष्पती अष्टापदी नवपदी बभूवुषी सहस्राः शरा परमे व्योमन्ने ॐ शं नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शं नो भवद्वर्यमा शं न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शं नो विष्णुरुक्रमः ॐ शकम्भरी देव्यै नमः यथास्थानं प्रतिष्ठापयामि शोभनार्थे क्षेमाय पुनरागमनाय च तत्त्वायामि ब्रह्मणा वन्दमानस्तदाशास्ते यजमानो अविर्भिः अहेदमानो वरुणेह पौरुषवगुं समानायो तमोषीः देवस्य त्वा सवितुप्रसवे अश्विनोर्बाहुभ्यां पुष्णो हस्ताभ्यम् अश्विनोर्भैषादीना वीर्यायाभिषिञ्चामि देवस्य त्वा सवितुप्रसवे अश्विनोर्बाहुभ्यां पुष्णो हस्ताभ्यम् चत्वसाराजप्रणोतिराजः नक्षत्रानागुं शतपि सर्वशिष्टः तौ देवेभ्यः कृणुतो दीर्घमायुः